This is the Pete and Sebastian Show with Pete Corielli and Sebastian Maniscalco.
Pete and Sebastian Show. We are back, baby. Sebastian Maniscalco on the other end. How you doing, brother? Let's get started. I'm all settled in the cockpit. You too?
I'm settled, nestled, ready to go. It's St. Patrick's Day. Wednesday. I posted a little something about St. Patrick's Day today on Instagram. Maybe caused some controversy, but it's comedy. Right?
I'm half Irish. Will I be offended if I go check this out?
Can we say Patrick's Day, or did we dig up something on this guy? Is it okay to say?
I think so.
Is it okay to say?
From what I understand, didn't he come through with a flute in Ireland and scare away the snakes?
I don't know, but I was thinking maybe he got canceled. Maybe the color green might offend somebody. Maybe the leprechaun with the pot of gold. The pot of gold. He's got too much money. He's got to give it away. I don't know. It's I put it up on Instagram. I want to cause a little heat. You know?
Really? Are you serious?
I'm just sick of, like, I got into this business 20 years ago, and I wasn't afraid to do nothing. Just,
I couldn't do enough. Guys were up there saying stuff that I'm like, I can't do that because my parents would tell me not to say that. But you could say anything, right? If you wanted to.
Yeah. That's all I had to worry back then is maybe my dad going, hey, maybe you don't want to say that about the family, right? That's it.
Right.
Now I got to worry about some ghost in his basement who's fucking worried about getting offended. So anyway, I put that up. I started the day that way. And then a couple days ago, we're honest here. We're transparent. We don't hide nothing. Little argument with Lana started in the morning. And I want to pass this by you, see if I could get some relationship tips. You've been married longer than I have.
A fight every day, guys.
I wanted to see if this came by your plate. Now, got up. And I hurt my hip the other day working out. And
doing your hip swings.
I was doing another one. Cool. Squat jumps. Oh. No business doing this. Right. Squat jumps at 47.
What is that? What are you, a cornerback in the offseason in the NFL? What squat jumps? Shit. I don't jump. I don't jump. Do you jump? Even when you ever do a jump off a curb just for like you're in a good mood and you're like, Jesus, am I landing on the moon? My feet fucking slapping the cement, right? God, you're doing. What are these exercises?
This was a squat jump where basically you squat down and then you jump up, but I have like almost a large rubber band around me attached to a piece of equipment. So I'm basically being held by this rubber band, but you're right. Jumping now, I was doing this exercise where I was basically skipping over like one of those steppers. It was like a stepper on the floor, and he had me skipping over like 1, 2, 1, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I don't know if you've had this realization yet. I was looking at myself going, the way I'm doing this looks old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looks old when a 37-year-old guy is doing it, right? In training camp, you're like, oh, retire. Dude, I got my little boutique gym going, and I got to tell you, and I hate to say this because I appreciate gym owners, and they should still be gyms for a lot of stuff. But for me, working out now, it's private. It's like changing into changing, but nobody, it's just all alone. I even halfway through the exercise, I time when the shirt's going to come off. I'm like, I'll do it during this. I mean, grunting. You know what else you don't realize? I hate to get crass when you work out alone. Oh, God, how nice is it when you're doing like, what do you call chest presses and you got to fart Oh, God, no one's around. As you're coming up, you're farting. Boom! Right? Instead of holding that shit in and walking to the water fountain when you're done and letting it out slowly on the way. Right? It's just it should be private. It should be private.
At a certain age, I believe it should be private. Okay. And I think we're at that age where you just shut it down. Nobody sees how you work out. They just see the results.
Yes. Yes. And you don't do any of that silly stuff. I keep it basic. I do the thing, what do you call it? The straps. Those are TRL straps or whatever, TRX straps.
Oh, yeah. TRX.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the skip overs, and you're right. It's just, I feel like when I hit the floor, if I come down from anything where I have to go up and I come back down, I feel like it shocks my shoulders, down my spine, everything hurts.
Hey, you're doing a Florida State workout.
So I got hurt. My hip got hurt. The next morning, I woke up out of bed. It's funny now. It used to hurt right when it got hurt. Now, I think my body takes time to recognize the pain. So I didn't know I was hurt until I got out of bed the next morning,
right.
and I was basically needed a wheelchair to get to the bathroom, right?
Oh, shit. And right away, you know what it was, too, right? It was the practicing the side swipes. So when the tight end makes a left. Oh, God. Now, do you think if you keep doing those, though, that eventually you won't be sore when you, that's how you get back in shape? Or do you think you'll always be sore every time you do those?
Real quick, are you on another internet? It's fading in and out. Are you on your Wi-Fi?
I'm on the normal one, but let me check. Hold on.
Yeah, it's spotty.
All right. That's. I'm glad you said that because I said a couple funny things and you didn't really laugh. Oh, I am on the wrong one. I'll call you right back. Keep everything running. Does your trainer got you doing this stuff? Is that why you're doing this kind of exercises?
Yeah, he's got me doing this, and as we are getting deeper and deeper into weeks and weeks of training, he's having me do more stuff, challenging my body. Well, I hit a tipping point last week. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, this is another poor connection. All right, you're back. I hit a tipping point, and I hurt myself. Next morning, I got up, and Lana goes, "You working out today?" Now, I've noticed this with Lana. Some of the questions she's lobbing in at me already have a baked-in answer in her mind. I don't know if you've dealt with this, and let me explain.
Hell yeah.
You working out today? And right away in my head, I hear, "Oh, what do you want me to do?" Right?
Yeah.
It's not a general question. I said, "Yeah, I'm running. I'm going to do a light jog today on the treadmill."
Did you add the? I've gotten to this point too. Wait, they say something like that, passive aggressive, and you go and doing a light jog on the treadmill. You ever add the? Is that a problem? Because they're asking because it.
I feel if you tag it with "you," is that a problem? You're already inviting an argument, right?
But isn't it already? Isn't it already with your bullshit? You know I'm working out. You know I'm working. I'm not saying Lana. I get the same thing, and that tone, bro. I'll let you. I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to say, as a grown man, it's insane that we can't just wake up and do what we want. It's insane. How did we back ourselves into this shit? It'd be a little lonely on Christmas morning, but otherwise, jeez.
So I'm like, all right, here we go. This is, she's got something planned for me. She tossed it out. She goes, "Why don't you do Pilates today?" And again, I don't like being told what I should and shouldn't be doing, right? So I hit her back with, I'm running. Now, it had a little bite to it, right?
This is not the route I expected, all this. I thought she had wanted you to do it sure. She was just suggesting a different type of exercise based on your age. Let me know if I got to plug in. I'll plug in if you can't hear me on my headphones and shit.
I can hear you fine. It's just you're frozen half of the time.
Let me plug in because this is good shit. I want to hear this, all right?
Yeah, plug in.
All right, take me 2 seconds. Oh, I don't even think I have to hang up. Hold on. Maybe I'm right here.
I can hear you just fine. It's the.
You don't think that's part of it? It's like every time I plug in these headphones, though, it doesn't happen anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe you ever rationalize in your head what your phone is doing? You're like, oh, maybe it's spending a lot of energy to connect the Bluetooth.
Oh, God, bro, you would think I'm a Chinese engineer, the things I think about, right? I think I understand everything with this. You ever, get it wet and, you assume, you know what you think it can take before you even get it out or wherever it is? You're like, oh, no, it's made for this shit. Hold on. I dropped mine in the lake once on vacation with Jackie and scooped it out before she saw. And she's like, did that just land in the lake? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And she's like, turn it on. I'm like, oh, God, there's no way this fucking thing's going to work. And it did, bro. Oh, here we go. We put these things away.
Oh, God. Test 1, 2.
All
1,
right,
2,
perfect. All right, perfect.
Okay, great.
All right, let's pick it back up. So she asked you to do Pilates.
She asked me, why don't you do Pilates? I came back with, I'm running. All right. And now I noticed as she turned away from me, she got a little bruised, right? So I said, okay. I go to the gym, and she goes in the gym right after me. Now, we got a saying over here that I get in a bath, meaning when I get in a mood, I'm in a bath with a lot of bubbles, the whole thing. So when she senses something's wrong with me, she goes, you in a bath? I go, I'm in a bath and I've been in there for about a couple hours.
All right.
I've been in there so long, I'm pruning, right? So I said, I pulled this move, which I find is a nice move. Instead of going silent and stewing in the bath, I go, listen, I got to tell you. When you said Pilates, I was like, I just want to do my own thing. And it's not this one instance. There's been many instances where you try and tell me what to do, in my eyes. Because you know what it is?
Yeah.
Is what women will do is go, well, when else did I do that, right? They always give you like that, when else, or name another time. Mm-hmm. And it's not like I could go, oh, yeah. I can't retrieve the other time. I just know it's happened a lot. That's why I'm here. You know, like that.
Yeah, right. And by the way, if you do rattle off other times, because I've done that, then all of a sudden you're even worse. Like, what are you compartmentalizing this? You're saving it all? This is ridiculous. You can't win. Like, I'm going to go, all right, at your mother's that one time, then the other day. You just did it. You did it this morning. You just did it. Oh, give me a, right. I'm right there with you. But I got a question, though.
Yeah.
Why? I'm trying to get my thing right. Why you got a problem, though, with, like, a suggestion of Pilates? I mean, is it coming from a place of the fact that you're hip, you heard it, and this is less of a pounding, and maybe it's a good thing to be doing?
It's not what was said in the moment. And a lot of arguments, I believe, in marriages or relationships are compounded over time and there's a tipping point where it kind of overflows, right? So I say, it's just been a series of things, and I gave an example. I go, like the other night, she had a box of cookies. Yeah. And she was in the living room, and I went and it was like an assortment. It was like a little caramel chocolate crisp I took out. And I sat down, and she goes, oh, let me get you the chocolate chip cookie. I go, I want this. Eh? Now, some might say that and she goes, oh, I just know how much you like chocolate chip cookies, and there's one in there that's really good. I go, I saw it. I passed. And I want this. Okay? So I go, it's just been a series of those types of instances that now the suggestion to do Pilates was just grouped in with you wanting me to do something. And she's being sweet. She's like, I just know that Pilates is one of those things that might open up your hip, and I'm just trying to help you, all right? Mm-hmm. But me being Sicilian, I see it as, don't tell me what to do. Okay?
Well, how does a Sicilian tell the difference between being told what to do and a suggestion? It sounds like it's a suggestion.
It's a tone.
It's a tone.
Okay.
Yeah, there is that tone. It definitely is a tone.
There's a tone.
And they know.
So
it's like they know they mastered the tone. And they know when they're doing the tone, but when you call them on it, really on paper, it's like if you tell it to a friend, you're like, sounds like a suggestion. Nah. But if you heard the ha 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 ha, it's all in the fucking. In Chinese, one word can mean 3 different things depending on how loud you say it. For real, it's a language. That's what they're doing to us.
It's all in the delivery.
Totally, bro.
Okay.
Totally.
So she starts getting a little hot in the discussion. You ever have it where you're cool and they're a little, start raising their voice?
Yeah.
And I go, you know what? We'll talk later. I pulled that one with the, I go, I'm having an adult conversation here.
If I was your wife, I'd be grabbing the frying pan after that comment.
I said, when you settle down, I go, I'm just talking this out, right? I'm not looking to get into an argument. I'm just being transparent with my feelings here. I felt that, there's a series of things that led up to this, and I'm just expressing. Well, you have to be able to control your response and not bark and not get so upset. Now, do I get upset quick? Yes. But it's like you're prodding a dog, right? He's getting prodded. On the 6th or 7th prod, he's gonna
I'm right there with you, but Jackie has given me the speech constantly that I'm a hothead, I'm a meathead hothead, that you're just a hothead, you just yell out like a big meathead, right, Sadie? Dad, you do, like when I get mad, like it just comes out of nowhere. But you call these 6 bites. There's signals, and I can't. If you are not, after 20 years or even after all the years you've been married with kids, a wife should be able to read it. You're not reading these? When I walk in the room and I'm not already cracking funny jokes about breakfast, there's no hop in my step, you're not seeing any of that. I mean, you know what I mean? My wife's halfway down the stairs, and if she's already got a grump, I go, what's your problem? What's your problem today? Meanwhile, what do I got to do? Slit my wrist at the kitchen table for you to realize there's a problem? That's how I feel. I mean, I feel like I've been letting off flares for the past fucking 2 hours.
Oh man, you're right. Right away, Lana comes down from breakfast, and if she lets out a sigh, she goes. I go, what happened?
Yeah.
She's like, well, and sure enough, there's a well. I talked to and then there's the problem.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I come down, I go, when you're not getting a material out of me, something's wrong.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I hear you, bro. Oh shit. Can you hear me? All right, good.
I just it skipped out. Whatever you said there, I missed.
Oh, just said I hear you.
Okay. So she's telling me now about my bark and I should relax and this and that and the other thing. Now, have you ever gotten in a discussion with your wife where you're telling her what the problem is and why you behave the way you do, and then the response is not, you're right, I shouldn't tell you what to do, but now she's telling you got a problem, right? Like, I brought up the problem, then she told me I got a problem, then I'm like, listen, I'll be a lot more cognizant of how I respond, and I'm sitting here as I'm going, I go, how the fuck am I apologizing? I'm the one with the problem, right?
I can't, bro. You know how many times I go in, guns are blazing, and by the end, I'm bowing, kissing the feet, going, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Dude, she's raising your kids. You're never going to win. You know what I'm saying? You're just not. The only problem that there ever is that we have a problem, right? Yeah. They don't give a shit what our problem is. Just stop having a problem,
So here's another one.
Yeah.
Here's another one. And again, these are minuscule problems in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody's coming home on heroin and they're in their bed and they're shaking because they can't get another needle in them, right?
Yeah.
And the wife
can't make that funny too.
yeah. There's nobody gambling the mortgage over here where she goes to the grocery store and she puts the credit card in and the guy goes, it's declined. What do you mean it's declined? And she comes home and she goes, there's no money. And I go, I'm sorry, babe. I thought the Badgers were going to cover.
Right? Oh, God. Your wife's not known at the liquor store as, Mrs. Try it again. Try the card again. Right?
Yeah. There's not any of that,
No,
what do you mean you've been having another relationship for 5 years? There's none of that.
That's insane when I hear about that stuff. Like, I got so much on my plate. Can you imagine if I'm fielding phone calls from a chick from Cleveland that I'm seeing once in a while, and I'm telling my wife, hold on, I gotta go. Where am I going at 9 o'clock from the couch? Oh, I gotta go behind the shed. I left something behind the shed. What the fuck? Let me see your phone. Done. It's over. It's like the stress.
Yeah. Who are you talking to? Postmates? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they're doing it. Right. In this day and age. I mean, I think we talked about this before. I could see 30 years ago when there was no phones, no email, no nothing. But I mean, shit. My wife, I leave the house. I'm gone for 10 minutes. She goes, could you, where are you? And I go, I'm at the gas station. It's like, there's no time.
Absolutely.
Even if you wanted to, there's no time.
Bro, even when I want to get my Nicorette gum, I don't want to hear from her that I still chew this shit. So I try to get it when I'm out. And sometimes I ran out and I go, I got to get it. And she's home. Shit. And I grab the keys. I'm like, I'll be right back. Where you going? I just got to run to the store. Oh, you getting Nicorette gum? Like, I'm just trying to chew gum, guy. I'm not even trying to sleep with anybody, and I can't pull it off. You know what I'm saying?
I used to do the same thing with a Chipotle. I used to love to get a Chipotle bowl, right? And she knows when I eat Chipotle, I start to gain weight. but I'm dying for one. I'm dying for a chicken bowl. And she goes, where you going? I go, I gotta get gas. But then I'm like gonna swing by Chipotle and I gotta scarf it down in the car on the way home. I can't even eat it at my own kitchen table.
Oh, no, bro. Holy shit. This is gold. Are you recording? We got to make sure we're on.
Oh,
By the way,
no, this is on.
The thing about an affair, picture all that, but then you got to worry that the Chipotle might pull in your driveway one morning, the Chipotle bowl, and say it wants more. It wants more out of the relationship. That's the thing. If you're cheating on your wife, every time a car pulled into the driveway, I'd go, oh, fuck. Oh, here we go. It's over. It's over. My life is over. I'm going to be living in an apartment 3 blocks away.
Who's that? Who's that? Is that the electrician? Yeah. Every time the Amazon, the door rings and it's Amazon, I go, oh, fuck, thank God.
Oh, yeah, right. Hold on. Jackie's vacuuming, man. Jack! Unbelievable. Jackie! Can you not vacuum? Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Wow, that went way smoother than I expected.
Beautiful.
So
here's another one.
Wait, all right, yeah.
Lana has a habit of putting things away and not either screwing on the cap, tightening up the box. It's put away, and the freshness goes away, whether it be a cereal box or she bought salmon the other day, like kind of that salmon you put on bagels.
Yeah.
It comes on that silver board, that gold board. Right?
Yes.
And she ripped it open. It looked like a shark ripped it open. There was nothing neat about it. It just looked like the way she opens things, it looks like she has to get in them right away.
Like she's stranded on an island and it floated up. Right?
Yeah. Now, I've noticed especially the ice cream, the pint, like the cap is not tight, right? So the cap might be a little loose, so when you go back to get it, it's got like a frost on it now because nobody put the cap on. Now,
what, who's not finishing a pint? That's a joke.
the kid. Sometimes we get like a little scoop for the kid.
All right. The kid.
And she'll put it back and it's half on. Okay.
People
Now,
that walk away from a pint, that's okay. Anyway.
yeah. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right, I screw it back on. I don't say nothing.
Right.
I've mentioned it in the past, but all right, I put it in, I put that in. As I'm seeing it, I'm fixing it as I go.
Right.
The other day she goes, "Did you do this?" I said, "Yeah." It was a cracker box that I opened, and I put the whole box and the crackers in a Ziploc bag.
Love the move. Do it too. I do it with my coconut cookies. It's ridiculous.
Okay. I go, "Yeah, I put it in a Ziploc bag." She throws this one at me. She goes, "Yeah, but there's air in the bag. And if there's air in the bag, they're going to get stale. You got to squeeze all the air out of the bag and then zip it." Okay?
Yeah, I hear that too.
Now I go, I go, listen. I go, I don't want to get into a pissing contest here, but there's about 7 or 8 items over the course of maybe a month that were left open, not screwed on right, not zip tied right, what have you. I didn't say nothing about it. I just fixed it and moved on. I'm actually up 8-1, but in your head, I'm down 1-0, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
there's 8 I didn't mention. Now you mention what? Well,
Maybe you should have mentioned them when they were going down.
you know what? I'm bigger than that.
Yeah, because now she's mentioning. I'm not taking.
Oh no!
sides.
Hey, if you're
you're starting to sound like every time I say something to you, you rattle off 90 times I did it in the past that I didn't even know bothered you, guy. That's what you sounded like a little bit. All right.
I can see where that comes off like that. I'm man enough to admit that. But what I'm saying is, I generally, everything's tight. I screw everything on. It's like you're pointing out one thing out of 12,000 instances.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a habit for me.
And I got to tell you, too, like I take the dog food, the dry, and I put it in a big Ziploc, too. And every time I scoop it out, she'll say to me, you have to tighten it. You're letting the air in. I find that air in the bag to be a little overrated. You know, let's all just give a little golf clap for the fact that I put it in a fucking bag. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the shit wrapper that everyone else is going to leave it in. Come on.
That's where I'm coming from on this. It's like the effort was there. I knew, hey, it's going to get stale. Let me throw it into another bag and zip tie it. Now, if there is half the bag is filled with air, then it's going to be half stale rather than full stale.
Right? Yeah. Hey, Lana, there's less air in the bag than when you keep it in, which is the entire room.
That's what I told her. I said, you put it back in the refrigerator. You know what your bag is? The entire refrigerator.
Well, you know, though, man, it's like, when do we, as married couples, or even not married, but when you're with someone forever, when do we reach a point where you start to just have to say, that's something that person always does, and I just got to accept it? Like, can we, because to this day, she's still trying to get me to be cleaner and this, that, and I'm like, I am so clean right now, I could be in a gay relationship, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can say that. Can I say that? We'll find out. But my point... I want to get T-shirts. People say I'm woke. I want to get them that say I'm already up. I've been up for 50 years. So, but bro, seriously, like maybe like do you have to say at some point, okay, it seems like you have. Lana doesn't always put the da-da-da on things. So that's something I got to deal with. And like, what's something that she's got to deal with you? Would you say that if someone was getting in a relationship, being married to you for her is like, this one's got to be annoying to deal with, that I emanate?
My overindulgence probably with food was pretty much that's just the way he is. When his father comes over, he eats cheese and drinks wine and has cured meats until he can't breathe anymore. That's one of those things where it's like you got to deal with that, and then maybe there's some stomach problems at night that she's got to deal with, you know?
Does she start getting mad about that? Like, as Jackie gets mad if I eat too much sweets. I love sweets. And then at night, if I go, my stomach hurts. It's like, it's not like, oh, you okay? It's, you're an idiot.
Yeah. And I get that. I admit that that's not something I should be doing, something I should get a control on. I'm not perfect. I got a lot of flaws. I'm moody. The problem is I'm too sensitive, not in the sense that I cry. I'm too sensitive in what I see. I'll give you another example. Lana will have meat, and she'll get a fat piece on the meat, and she'll spit it out, right? Now, I've never spit. Do you spit food out?
If I have a chewy piece of meat, yeah, I'll grab my napkin and kind of go like that and done with that. Or actually, when I'm at home, I'll just take it out of my mouth and put it on the rim of my dish.
Oh God, bro, I'd slap you if you did that in front of me.
What? What do you do?
What do I do? If I'm sitting at a table and I'm eating and there's something in my mouth that I don't like, either I'll fucking get it down my throat, or I'll get up and I'll throw it out in the garbage. I don't do one of these at the table.
First of all, for anyone listening on the cast, I didn't put my mouth out gag. I'm just saying you politely take it. Actually, I'll do this. I take it out like this. And just put it down like that. If I'm with my wife and daughter in the privacy of our own home, why would I? And by the way, there's usually more than one piece of fat. What are you going to keep getting up and down when you're eating a pork chop? I mean, there's a lot of fat on it.
You not only take it out of your mouth in front of everybody, but then you showcase it on the side of the plate?
Right on the edge of the plate. Yeah.
Oh, my
Especially if I know there's going to be more fat in the eating. I'm not going to. I'm not going to go through 20 napkins. I'm not going to keep
you got a garbage disposal of fat on the side of your plate while other people are eating? Come on, guy.
People, it's family members, guy. I mean, you know.
Oh my God, this is unacceptable.
Whoa. So what does Lana do?
She does. She's been known to do what you did. And I got
normal.
I got to look at half chewed meat on the plate while I'm eating. Now I got to look at that. Eh?
First of all, this is
what?
Well, first of all, it's your wife's meat, so it's like, you know. By the way, quick side note: like the other day, I was Sadie didn't finish her yogurt, and I ate it like right with her spoon. With your kids, do you feel like that there's no germage whatsoever because it's your kid, that you could like drink or eat anything that they ate or drank, like as far as I'm not grossed out by it?
You talk to my sister, it's a different story because she won't do that. She won't share fork or cup or with her kids.
Yeah.
Me, Caruso had avocado and eggs today. I ate the avocado and eggs that he left over with his baby fork.
All right, we're on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So when you have a problem with Lana's rubber fat, does she now change her ways because of you, or does she go deal with it?
Here's the problem. I'll know when it's coming. Like she'll be chewing, right, and she'll go. And I'll be down, but I see all this, right? I'll be eating, but I see. Oh, I'll notice in my head. Oh, here it comes. She's gonna spit it out, right? Like I'm processing this, and she'll try and hide it. She'll go, but it's so overtly obvious that what she's doing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when you go like this, it's like I see that. Like. There is a movement that you generally don't do while you're eating.
Right. But trying to be polite, right?
Trying to be. So she's done this move where she's taken a napkin and she spit it out in the napkin and then puts the napkin like on a ball on the side. Now.
Done that too. Maybe a little tuck under the...
This is me. I still know what's in that napkin. I can't get it out of my head. That's chewed food. And I go, you didn't see this coming? Like, you didn't see that when you were cutting that it was fat and this could have... I don't eat... Like, this is how I do steak. If I see the fat, I go, you know what? I want a little piece of that fat with the cooked meat. I'll take a little piece that I could digest that, I could get that down. It's not going to be fat. I don't cut in and get a wad of fat and go, let me see if I can muscle this down.
Well, no, I listen, a steak eater tries to avoid the fat, but you never once in a while, you cut a piece, you bite in and you realize there's more fat on that piece than you realized.
I have.
All right.
But if that happens, I'll maybe excuse myself from the table.
That is ridiculous. That's like one of our few guests, Mike McGlone, that we ever had on this cast. When he said, I told you when I hang out with him, when he has to like spit, because he used to smoke 2 cigarettes, he would walk 30 yards in New York City all the way to the end of the sidewalk, no matter how long the sidewalk wide was, and spit in the gutter. And I'm like, okay, that's like insane. Like, you're going all the way out of the way for that? Getting up to spit in your napkin at dinner every time and throw it out at home, bro. It's...
I don't know. I would love to hear the comments below here and see what what our fans and our listeners have to say about spitting food out at the table. But again, these are little small speed bumps in the relationship that we could actually talk about and laugh about, because I think that's the way to deal with this stuff. At least you could talk. Because I told Lana, I was talking to my sister about, like arguments they have, and it becomes funny. These are not like major things. Basically, it's living on top of one another, not on top, but for 360 some odd days, these things are going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Side note before I forget, I see you're drinking out of a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
What's your take on this?
On what?
I saw someone walk into a Walgreens last week with a mug of coffee. Do you take the mug out and about as you do errands, or do you, if you're going to have a coffee, put in a styrofoam cup to go? What's your take on the mug outside the house?
It's an excellent question. Depends where I'm going, right? Now, like a Walgreens, absolutely not. But just the other day, there was a recall on the Roux. I had to bring it into the dealer for a 30-minute. They had to fix the back hatch at the dealership, and they have a lounge. Brought my mug of coffee for the drive to Buffalo, brought it into the Roux dealership, sat down, and a mug like this, too. We're not talking, no cap with a little sip. I do a balanced job. And, yeah.
So you're taking the car to Buffalo with an open mug in the car? What are you, just holding that the whole time and driving with one hand?
Nah, I put it right in the cup thing, but when I'm going to make a sharp left or a sharp right, because I only have to make a couple turns and then I'm on the thruway anyway. So make a sharp left, sharp right. I pull out the coffee, balance it with one hand, turn with the other. I always wonder when I'm doing that, if I'm going to crash, would I instinctually just throw the coffee down like, fuck it? Or would I try and save my life and still hold the coffee? Can you imagine dodging an accident and not even spilling your coffee? Yeah. But yeah, that's the move. That's the move. Sometimes it spills and Jackie gets pissed and tells me to put a top on it and a lid. And I'm like, listen, it's not a water bottle. It's a mug of coffee. Respect it.
I don't think it should leave the house. I think it needs to go in a proper mug made for the car. I just don't think a mug should be it should be in a Subaru dealership.
I know, but sometimes I'm having a mug at home, and then I got to go out all of a sudden. And they want me to do a pour transfer. I don't do that. I just walk out with the mug.
All right, pour transfers are key over here. Got another one for you. And this goes back to the health and wellness of it all.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an ingrown hair on your leg or anywhere on your body?
I don't know, man. What is an ingrown hair exactly? I get them in my ear, right? Is that one?
Well, if you have one. I got up in the morning and it's like this. It looks like a large pimple on my leg. And I'm like, man, I don't remember ever getting that. This is the second one in 3 weeks. And I'm like, I don't ever remember getting like ingrown hairs on my leg. And I'm like, am I getting at an age where the hair can't even come out of the skin anymore? Like it gets lost on the grow up?
Oh, man. Dude, things are going on now. Things are definitely starting to go on now that don't normally go on,
Right.
I mean, yeah, I've gotten to the point now, you ever go to get up and I got to get mentally prepared just for the get up? Fucking, it's like rolling a fucking 747 out of the hangar.
Yeah.
But once we're up, we're rolling. We're still rolling. One man.
Oh, no. As soon as you get up, but to your point on the get up, and Lana can't stand this about me. I get out of bed and on the get up, I'll let out a fuck every time.
I like that, bro. That is way classier than me. I just go, oh. You're giving a fuck. Dude, that should be the start of a movie. That's like cool. If I was married to you, I'd be attracted to you every time you got up, if that's what you did. I'd be laying in bed like this, and you go, fuck, and I go, he's so cool.
Lana turns to me, she goes, why? Why do you have to say that every time? And you know, I know my dad does this. Like, he'll come down. When my dad was staying with us over the summer for 2 weeks, he would come down, and you would just hear the back of his slippers hitting the tile, and you just hear, like he was upset to be up. Like he was up. Like he was upset he made it through the night. You know, like like it's almost he wishes God would have just took him. You know what I'm saying?
See, now that's the point I want to make it too, right? Where you're like, yeah, if I'm here, I'm here. What are you doing tomorrow? If I'm here, I guess I'll go get him. You know, if I'm not, that's fine too. I'm ready for the trip, bro. The other day, I don't know if I told you this on the last cast, but about a week ago, it was like 2 a.m, and I rolled over thinking it was the morning. It was only 2 a.m, and I was so tired. I was so psyched. But earlier in the day, I just happened to be, and I'm not getting political, but I happened to be we were watching the news, Jackie and I, and Biden was on, and she goes, whoa, I hadn't seen him in a while. He looks old, you know? And I'm like, right? So now it's 2 a.m, and I wake her up. I go, Jack. And she's like, what? And I go, think about how tired we are right now.
Oh, my God.
Do you think if they woke up Joe Biden right now, President Biden, what we are, like that he could make a decision in a minute? And she's like, fucking let it go, Pete. That's what she said back. But it's true. I'm 50 and I need a cup of coffee. I need to take a piss. You know, who are we bombing? What are we bombing? Listen. My knees are still creaking. I can't even hear what you're asking me. Right? And I'm
Bro,
just saying.
I'm stunned that you get up at 2 a.m. and you do scenarios with your wife. I mean, that's unheard. I would never wake up my wife in the middle of the night and go, babe, listen. You know how you feel right now? What if you felt like that all the time? I would never say.
But isn't when you're laying in bed? Is Lana a heavy sleeper? Or you think it within 2? Lana.
No. Heavy sleeper. I sleep. The air conditioning could come on, and I go, I'm up. By the way, it's just, I got a side note here.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best things, one of the best things I've ever seen on a podcast. If you're not watching this, it's Pete made a like when colon, what is it, when a polyp comes out of your colon,
yeah,
he made it like a little flower blossom. It was one of the funniest things I've ever
looking
seen.
around.
Anyway, so Lana sleeps deep, and we've proved that because here, this Aura ring, it monitors how deep you sleep. So she's got one recently. So because I want to see how deep you sleep, because I only get about an hour of deep sleep a night. I look at hers, 2 hours. She's in a deep sleep where, you know, it's one of these where it takes a nudge. You know, the alarm has gone off and she doesn't know. Oh. You know, one of those sleepers.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's nice. See, lately Jackie's been doing that. Like, I get up before her, and then she gets up and wakes up Sadie. And a couple times she's slept through it. And now I have to make sure she's up. And I'm like you. I'm like, sleeping through an alarm? Sleeping through an alarm? I could hear a conversation 3 blocks away at 6:30 in the morning. Right?
Right? You know, and I don't know if this is a kid thing or whatnot, but if I'll go in the room and Caruso is like lightly sleeping and there's a noise, he does like a rollover and a pop-up. And he's up. Now, I don't know if that's just youth, where like he gets like, oh my God, somebody's in the room. He's up. Me, it's more like,
I think that's hereditary, bro. I think he's a chip off the old block, bro. I think he already is looking around to see who he's got a problem with. Who's coming in? Who's here?
Who just had the audacity to come into my nursery room?
When your son gets older, how awesome is it going to be the first time you're somewhere in public with him and something like, white trash is happening and he's like, Dad, you seeing that? That's as special as watching him graduate college, the first time he points out a problem that you didn't even see.
Oh my God. I can't wait till I got somebody to bat stuff around with, right?
Oh yeah. Especially because you're going to have your daughter going, Dad, be nicer. And
it would be beautiful. I get 2 of them on board.
Oh yeah. That would be.
I mean, if both of them are in the back seat going, look at this guy. What is he doing?
Oh, that'd be fantastic, man.
Oh man.
Shit. By the way, while we're talking about wives and problems,
hold on.
You got something?
What's that? No, there's a cry. Go ahead.
Oh.
You ever have to try, and you have to go back 3 or 4 years on this. Someone's crying in the house. The kid is crying in the house, and you have to distinguish if that is that a cry. Like sometimes you'll be sleeping, you'll hear, ah, and you're like, cry or siren?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The one I get a lot is the dolls. Like I'll hear her playing with the dolls and she's like, no. And I'm like, what? And then I'll hear a different voice go, Sally, we said you can't have that comb. I'm like, all right. It's fucking insane. It's insane that they do that. They sit there and sometimes she gets so into it. I'm like, me and Jackie listen and goes, oh, kid fucked up. like she'll hold them up being like, we told you can't come, but you said that yesterday. Well, we're saying it again. You're just not nice. And you're like, what the fuck? This is,
Like, I want to know when that ends. Like, is she going to be one day going, no, you can't do that? And and she's going to go, what am I doing? Like
just holding them up going, I look like an idiot. What the hell am I doing with these things? When are you going to get a cigarette around here? What's that stuff I've been smelling out of your office for the past 10 years, Dad? Oh God. Yeah, no, right? Man. Is it a slow fade? I feel like it's a slow fade, just a little less. I mean, think about you with a soccer ball, right? Did you ever just kick it one day and go, don't, it just fades.
Yeah, but that's age. That's a sport, an instrument. This is like behavior. If like a 21-year-old person was doing this, talking to you'd go, they should be committed.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, is it a slow burn? Is it like get up and go, I'm not going to play with my dolls like that today? Or is it mid-play where they go?
It's hilarious.
What? Really? These things don't talk back to me, right? Like you got to realize as a kid, they play with their friends, but Serafina actually thinks she's got a baby, like a family of babies. She's got 4 babies, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, my baby's sleeping, so be quiet. And I'm thinking to myself, the baby ain't sleeping, right? I could go in there and scream at the top of my lungs. The baby don't move, right?
That's what the acting coaches say. Children have the best imaginations. That's if we could have their imagination as adults, right?
Yeah, but she wakes up. She goes, "My baby's got a fever. I have to give her some medicine." I go, "Oh my God!" And she gets out her little doctor thing, and she puts the thermometer under the thing, and I go, "This is commitment."
It's unbelievable. It is, man. Wow. By the way, that's already a better checkup than I get from my fucking quack up here in town. That already would have jacked me double price.
Yeah, that's an extra charge for taking out the thermometer.
Oh, man. By the way, so I have a problem with Jackie's. This is a lot lately. Her reaction not matching the problem. Like the other day, for example, I'm in the office and she made these cupcakes for my mom for St. Patrick's Day, and she's moving them around in a box. She doesn't even drop the box. She almost drops it. And I'm in the other room and she screams, "Damn it! Ah!" I thought she slipped and fell, dude. Because she slipped on the stairs about a week earlier. I come running in. I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I knew you'd come running. Well, what the yeah, of course I'm going to come running. Nothing. I dropped almost dropped the box, Pete, and they almost broke the cupcakes that it took all day to make. So I feel like that warrants a scream. Okay, thank you. You can leave now. That's what I got all in one bunch, right? But meanwhile, it's like, you know, it's. I want to say to her, unless you're hurt, I don't want to hear loud, random noises. That's what an abusive husband does, right? Just comes walking out. When's dinner? I want it now. That's insane.
So I could relate to that. Lana does the same thing. She'll be looking at her phone and she'll go, "Oh no!" I go, "What?" You know, like I'm ready to hear somebody died, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, "No, the Postmates just canceled our order." That doesn't warrant a, "Oh no!"
Right. Like
right.
Your heart's now pumping. It's like if your heart was a firehouse, we're already got the coats on, we're sliding down the pole, and now you're telling me a false alarm. It's got to match. Bro, I still love that, getting out of bed going, fuck. Yeah, it's like a quarterback suiting up for one last game. Fuck.
Do you think Tom Brady gets out of bed that way? I mean, Tom Brady, do you think he gets out of bed? Do you think he sits there on the edge of the bed? You know, some guys do this. They get up. Like, I'll do all my thinking or my pregame to the get up laying down. So I'll wake up, you know, a couple breaths or whatnot, just whatever, grab the phone, look at the phone a little bit, put the phone down, kind of think about it, I gotta do my day. And then I get up in all one motion. But some guys do they get up and then they're at the edge of the bed. And they do either like, you know, like the eyes or whatnot. What's your move?
See, are those guys married? Because my move, I map out, which helps me go to sleep, my day the next day. When I'm going to bed, I'm like, I'll do that. So when I fall asleep, I know the routine already going. So I pop up, I get right up, I go in the other room because she's sleeping. I slap on the clothes from the ground. I start to wake up coming down the stairs. A few times, especially like last week, I did this once. Did what you said because it's a cool move to get halfway up, just sit up in bed with your feet over and just kind of rub through your agenda for the day. You know, I did the double rub tempo. And what do I get from behind me? What's wrong? Nothing. Just, well, why are you sitting there? Why didn't you get out? I'm just trying. I just want to do a new move. Right? Can I just do a new move? Why is everything commentated on in my life? Well, you're the Howard Cosell of my life, man. Right?
I'm doing a new move.
Meanwhile, if my wife got up and sat on the side of the bed, I wouldn't know till I got up. I wouldn't even know. Right?
Oh, God. What's wrong? Oh, my God. Oh,
So,
Jesus.
I gotta. Before this wraps up, I want to forget to ask. I know we're going off topic, but I got a contractor question to ask you. So we got these guys doing the floor, doing the whole downstairs, the kitchen. They're great guys, great workers. And the other day, the main guy says to me, the guy who helped me with the syrup, he goes, "Hey Pete," and he's walking out the door towards his truck, and he goes, "You mind helping him move for a second?" And he goes, "Just help him move for a second." He points. So this guy's done a lot of work for me, right? And this is the kind of guy does it so well and is such a master craftsman. He even cleans up when he's done for the day, tools out of the way, like just knows how to do it right. So I'm thinking, wow, because this particular day he was working alone. I'm like, he's asking me, he goes, "I got to get the compressor." And I'm like, what the fuck? He's asking me to carry the compressor in with him. And all the times he's worked on my house, he's never asked me to do anything. So all this was running through my head as I'm walking out with him. I'm like, I'm not mentally prepared to do labor. I'm paying you, and now I'm helping you with the fucking compressor. This is like, I'm a little. Yeah. And then he opens up the trunk of his car, and I'm standing there, and he's looking at me, and I'm about to help with the compressor. And he looks at my Tahoe, and he's like, "No, can you move it?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought you wanted me to help you with equipment." He's like, "No, I just wanted you to move the Tahoe because I got to go get the compressor. It's at my shop." And I'm like, oh, God. So, I mean, the respect remained. I misunderstood him. But what's your take on your contract asking you to help him? Like, just hold a piece of wood or something? What the fuck is that?
It's funny that you've created a whole scenario on the way to the car, right?
He was practically fired before I got to the fucking car.
Like he opens the door and he's gonna go, "Could you?" And you were gonna go, "You gotta start looking for other work, my friend."
Yeah.
What? I just want to move.
No.
So, a lot of people don't even think that through, because I do that too. Somebody says something like that, I'm always going, as I'm doing, I'm arguing. You ask me to help you?
on the inside, on the outside, you're like, sure, yeah. Let me get my gloves.
I don't think that's cool.
Not even for like, hold this end of the beam for 2 seconds, and I just gotta latch this in, Pete, and then I can grab that end from you. I you can't.
Yeah, listen, because I don't know. Does that lead into next week? He's gonna go, "Pete, you want to get a tool belt on here and just give me the nails as a hey, what? Now we're on the clock,
right? By the third week, my wife's gonna pay him. He's gonna turn around and give me some. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not into the whole like, hey, help me this, help me that. Listen, at this age, and I'm not saying we're old, but a compressor, any type of heavy lifting at this age, if I'm not properly stretched, it could be a major injury for me, right?
Right. I'm right there with you. If I'm going to grab a compressor or anything over 50 pounds, I got to do a mental wraparound in my head, you know? Just going to walk out casually. I mean, it's unbelievable. But luckily, then this other guy, I got pulled up from the other day. I got home from the Subaru thing, and he's got one of his guys working for him, and he's got one of these saws that comes straight down. I forget what you call it. And the other guy's using the horses for another saw, so he has no horses. So he took a piece of plywood and he put it across diagonally my wooden railings. And he's sawing put the saw there. And then sometimes he's putting a piece of wood over my railing and using that to cut, right? I'm stewing. I'm like, if I'm going to have to paint my railing after you put in my floor, then what's the point? We're just going to, you know what I'm saying? So, but they're great guys, you know, and the head guy wouldn't do this, right? So I go in my garage. I got these 2 heavy-ass fucking horses, right? I'm carrying them out, getting a hernia one by one, right? The minute you're doing any work, when you're paying big money for it, you're like, why am I doing anything right now? This is insanity, right? So, and I plop them down on the porch. And I pop my head in because they're working inside. And I just go, Mike, listen, I just want to let you know, I put a couple of horses out there for you to cut on. I do want those to cut on. He's like, oh, thanks. And I go, yeah, no, I just want to get that off the railing. And then when I walked out, I got to think, because that's what I say to Jackie later on. I tell her the story. I go, Jack, see, women don't do this, right? I tell her the whole story. I go, when I left, do you think the main guy said to that guy, you put the saw across the fucking railing? You don't do that. You don't do that. Right?
Or I went the other way. Do you think the guy that was sawing on the railing turned to the main guy and go, you fucking believe he's worried about the railing? I saw where I want to saw.
Listen, but that's a possibility. But the guy who put it on the railing, he tends to work more in smaller towns outside of town. I'm just like, you're not building shelter here, guy. We're building a house, not just shelter. This ain't a cabin. Whereas my guy builds homes in Fredonia, and I think he told them, Tommy, we ain't in the woods, all right? You don't put the fucking... we ain't building a fucking cabin for Daniel Boone. Get the saw off the railing.
Do you normally attach the name Tommy to this guy's when you're telling a story? Is that your go-to name? If you're just...
I like the name. It's a fun name. Yeah, but it's easy because you don't run the risk of people trying to guess who you like. Oh, I think I know who you were talking about. So I just
do you know the guy's actual name?
I don't even know it. Oh yeah, his name. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't used it.
I've done that too. Where my go-to name is Frank.
Oh, that's a good one too.
It doesn't matter who. Even if I know the guy's name, Frankie sounds appropriate for the situation, no matter what the situation is, right? Before we leave, the maple syrup guy, did you go up to him and go, guy, I had a colonoscopy, that's why I had a bolt last week? Remember you were saying that you left the
I know what I said. I didn't.
You didn't go back up to him?
Nah, I said to, what I did instead was, first of all day Sunday, I boiled down 20 gallons on a fireplace outside. I thought I sent you the photo. I didn't. Went through all my camping firewood. I was reeked like smoke. Spent the whole day, because you had to keep it at 200 degrees, and I'm loading firewood. I wasn't even allowed in the house because I stunk like smoke. By about 4 o'clock, Jackie's sticking her head outside going, are you almost done? And I'm like, it's still got that much more to go. What do you want me to do? 7 o'clock at night, still smoking this shit. Couldn't finish. Still had like this much water, 3 inches of water. The next morning, right before he came in to start working, we had it on the indoor pot now on the stove, the oven, because there was only that much left, and it was bubbling. So when he walked in, instead of apologizing and explaining the situation, I thought, let me show my enthusiasm for what he did. Yeah. So when he walked in, he's like, oh, I can smell syrup boiling in here. And I'm like, there you are. Yeah, bro, I burned it all day yesterday. I got it going now. I was just all happy and grateful instead of saying, I didn't want
good move.
You tell me I had colostomy. I was thinking about it, though. It was definitely, and now on the flip side, while we're rehashing last week's show, any RSVP from Watt for the golf trip?
He's in.
In, baby. I love it, dude. The 2 guys you're golfing with got to be like going to their wives, baby. You don't even know now. It's not smash. It's what too? Holy shit! Holy, it's like Make-A-Wish Foundation shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Looking forward to that.
Is. Yes, it is, man.
But yeah, man, always a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to the Pete and Sebastian show. We will be back again next week.
Great hanging, brother.
Thanks for the relationship advice.
Tried to help. I'm here for you. Later.
Later.